It's now time for the #1 podcast in iHeartRadio. It's Your House is Key, the podcast that opens the door to your dream home. Hosted by the remarkable Danelle Shepard, he's your trusted guide in the world of real estate. Whether you're buying your first home, selling your current one, or simply curious about the market, this podcast is your one-stop shop for all things real estate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host and my good friend, Danelle Shepard.
Welcome back to your favorite podcast with your favorite realtor, Danelle Shepard. And always remember, just like the title says, your house is key. Again, favorite realtor, Danelle Shepard. And I'm with my co-host. I don't even remember. What's your name again?
Miss Lemon Pepper.
Oh, that's right. She claimed she bringing some season.
I'm bringing this season.
Listen, I'm bringing water bottles and products, you know. So if you thirsty, you want to support, you can definitely take a sip.
Make sure you do. Make sure you do.
Out of your house is key water.
Exactly.
So, today, what are we talking about? Because you said you had something for me.
I do. Okay, so I think this is going to be a good topic.
Uh-oh.
Okay. What does it take to be a realtor?
Ooh.
Right? And I'm not just talking. Yeah, and I'm not just talking about technical aspects. Not just going to the class and all that stuff. Okay. Because you can take a course, only you're gonna be successful at what you're learning. So I want to get into the roots. The roots of it.
Listen about what it takes to be a realtor. So
first step.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'll let you know.
How to officially become a realtor? What are some of those important steps someone has to take to get it? Because you got to get the license, or is a certification?
You got to get licensed.
Okay.
You get certifications and continue ed.
Okay.
While you're licensed, but so the first thing you want to do, right? Obviously, you got to really make up your mind. This is what you want to do.
Okay.
So if you have the opportunity, I would say shadow somebody, really ask questions, understand the ins and outs and the details, right? And how to, because here's a question, right? How you get paid, how you don't, what's this? And, you know, and they'll teach you that in class. But so the first step is truly deciding you want to do it. Because after you do that, you're going to have to dedicate yourself for some time. And I give them a shout out. Maybe they see it, may not. So I went to Hondros School. Okay. They really known for nursing, but also for licenses, whether it's real estate and other facets of the business world. And you sign up for your classes. There's so amount of classes. And me at the time, because this was years ago, I did in person. I showed up. And because at the time I had a job, so I did weekend only.
Okay.
So every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was in class from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yes. 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
That's a long time. How many hours was that? How long did you have to do that for?
6 weeks.
6 weeks? Oh, well, that's not bad.
It wasn't bad, but
yeah,
at the time, I had a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't even one yet. It was tax season. So you know, she at the tax office. Yeah. And it's a Friday, it's a Saturday, and it's a Sunday.
So you have to dedicate.
Yes.
Your time.
You have to sacrifice it. They got weekend only. They got nights and weekends. They got, throughout the day. But you got it. So you pick a schedule what's right for you. So you start doing that in the midst of your classes. You can't miss the class. You got to repeat it. You got to make sure you pass. You got to pass the exam. But before that, you want to start meeting with your brokers. You start meeting with your brokers. You start figuring out who you want to go with, because before you sit for your final, there has to be a broker that's going to sign off on you.
Oh, okay. So, pause.
Yep.
What is a broker?
Okay. So the broker, so let's be detailed. The principal broker, or the broker who's in charge, is the one, in essence, is your boss. That's the person that's in charge. It could be the owner. There could be broker owner. It could be the managing broker who does the decisions. And then there's another level known as an associate broker. And that's actually what I am. So in our office, you got the principal broker, who's also broker owner. And then you have myself. But that's really I don't want to say the brain, the head of it all. that is who really is like, hey, we either gonna shut this office down. Here's our rules. Here's what you need to follow. And then obviously they pass it down to the chain of command manager, office manager. But the broker is the one who signs your check.
Okay. And so is this like a major, not major real estate organization, but like, do you have to be with a company that's already established?
So,
or can you just do your own thing, or what?
In order to sit for a test, you need a broker.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like I would suggest going to somebody because they have to sign their name on a dotted line, and you're not a broker, so you can't sign off on yourself. So you got to start off with somebody else's company.
And do they provide you with leads, or is it just up to that person to go find?
So every broker office is different. So before we even get there, so you do that broker, you sit for your test, you pass your test, boom, you're a licensed realtor.
Okay.
You can now start practicing real estate once your license has been issued.
Okay.
Just because you passed your test, you can't practice. The moment your license has been issued, you can start practicing real estate.
Okay.
And every broker office is different.
Okay.
And some provide you with leads, some put you in a round robin to get you leads. Some will be like, hey, I need you to do cold calling. Some is like, because here's the thing, what people don't realize, when you are a realtor, you are an independent contractor. You're not a quote unquote employee. Independent contractor meaning if you don't move your feet, you don't eat.
Yeah.
So there's some brokers that's like, hey, if we're a boutique office or smaller, we may not have the true learning classes, because there's some broker offices that give you, hey, show up today at 1:00 and we're going to have a class on how to write your name on a paper. There's some handheld, and there's some like, listen, show up. We're going to teach you along the way. We will give you some insights. We have classes, but a true sit down classroom type, not every brokerage offer that type of knowledge and information.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean,
so you find a broker.
Yep.
And then you're able to sit for the test.
You find a broker,
but you have to test all your courses first.
Right.
Your course or if your courses.
Yep.
Find your broker. Yep. You sit for the test. Yep. What does the test look like? How long is the test? Is it online, in person?
So I used to know this. I used to know the company name, but they are one of the toughest test creating companies out
it's
there.
Not just multiple choice, use process of elimination.
It's all that, because it could be all 4 answers is right, like a SAT, ACT. It's which one is more right.
More right.
Because it's points. So you have a national portion, and you have a state portion.
Okay.
And I think one is 90 questions and one is 50. I haven't done this in so long, but one is 90 and one is 50.
Okay.
And even if you do your broker license, it's same thing again. You almost double up, but it's like the broker portion of it.
Okay.
But yeah, so you do your national, then you do your state, and they're both 2 separate tests. And what they do is they throw new questions out there. Like, I want to give like filler questions to see, like, do we want this on the next test?
Okay.
So you don't know if that's a filler question or not.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's a national portion and there's a state portion, and you have to have a certain amount of percentage passed on each portion. I want to say a 70 on each one in order to consider passing.
Okay.
It may be 70, 75. I don't remember. I pass,
You sound like you're in college. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
But I passed.
When you're a doctor, they're gonna say, are you an A doctor or a C doctor, or are you just a doctor?
You know what? That's a good.
Listen.
Let me ask my doctor next time. Next time I go in for a checkup, when did you pass the class?
But here's the thing. I'm gonna flat out tell you, I'm not the best standardized test taker.
Yeah.
But I know my shit.
You know it's
myself, however you want to put. I know it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that you would like. I mean, you can translate it to a book, but the stuff you learn in the classroom in the book, a lot of it doesn't truly translate or transition over to what you do in the real world.
That's true.
I mean, it's you be like, I thought you were supposed to do this. Man, listen.
Yeah.
Here's the rules. Here's what you need to follow. Here's the guidelines. But how you talk and maneuver in it is completely different.
Yeah.
It's like asking somebody how you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So basically what you're saying, and this is kind of skipping ahead,
Go
in
ahead.
order to be successful,
Yeah.
you got to be more than just book smart.
Man, you gotta be book smart. You gotta be common
You got to have
sense.
everything.
You gotta be real well-rounded.
Yeah.
If you came from it, but there's people who you could end up being, because it's something you can learn.
Okay.
If you got the right people around you, because I've seen people I came from the corporate sector before I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, there's like, here's this pamphlet, here's this step, here's the next question you ask, here's this, here's that. That's not real estate. Because no two transactions are the same.
True.
May feel like it,
But they
may resemble.
Yeah, but no, they're gonna
Man,
differ.
listen, it starts off because the client's not even the same.
Right.
Even taking the same client out for a second house, like they bought one house, you take them out for their new house, second house, or investor house, or the more you continue to show them, they evolve through. If you're doing it right and teaching them, when you first met them on the first showing, and just say you show them 10 houses, by the time they get to house 10, you should see the growth and the maturity. Just not saying they gonna know it all, but just the way they look at things and the way they ask you questions.
Along the way.
Oh yeah, it's unreal.
Okay, so you go. So what you already covered is, you go to school for it. You got to find a broker. Well, for one, you got to pass your classes.
Oh, real quick, and you said school. If you're in college and you take the college courses for real estate, if your school offers, you get your license that way.
Okay.
As long as you 18, as the rules change, all you gotta do is be 18. You ain't got to graduate college. You got to be 18. But if you don't graduate from college, you still got to sit down for the other classes.
Okay.
Because all you got to do is be 18 to get licensed.
Oh, well, that's good. I think, you know what? I think real estate should be pushed more,
man,
than what it is.
Like the trades.
Yeah. And I think now is a perfect time, especially with the housing market kind of, not saying it's down, but it's not a big boom as it was, 3 years ago? 3-4 years ago?
I don't know. I beg to differ. It depends on where you are.
Depends on where you are. Okay.
Because each market from that COVID, what you're talking about is the COVID era.
Yeah, COVID, yeah.
2 seconds, 3 seconds. I just listed sign in the yard and it's gone. If you price it right in the right area,
yeah, it'll fly.
It's gone.
Gotcha.
Now, but it is more. I get what it's more balanced ish. But you'll never see the time frame that COVID brought like that. Yeah. Now it's real estate. When I came into business, you were doing an open house. Yeah. Every Saturday and Sunday. And you were sitting between 12 and 2, but wait, it's football season and we in Cincinnati, so the Bengals gonna play against the Steelers at 12. But people going to church until 12 and then they getting out, halftime's at 2. Like that was real estate. You had to plan around the world to make sure you put your client's house in the best light possible to get it sold. Yeah. So yeah, my bad.
Okay, so you go to school, college, take the course. You got to pass it. Find your broker. Sit down for the test. Once you pass the test and the exam,
license get issued.
You get your license. How long does it take you to get your license once you pass?
Really, it depends on how fast the state is.
Okay.
COVID was backed up. When people were getting it was taking about 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. It was long. Yeah, everything was backed up because
Can you sell homes before it officially gets? So you gotta wait.
You gotta wait.
Okay.
You cannot sell property or practice real estate until your license is issued. The moment it's issued, the moment you log in and you can see your name and it says active,
you go.
It's gone.
Okay. So you get your license. Then what?
Oh, at that point, you got to figure out again how important. Right? Because most people who join real estate are part-time. It's rare, and they're out there, but it's less people, I would say, who come in and be like, you know what? I already quit everything and I took my classes. There's people who do it. I know them. I met them. There's people. It's rare that people, I'm on leave or I'm on this and I want to do it. Most of the time, it's like, hey, I want to get into it. while I'm doing this and then transition over. Again, it's a mindset. Like once you get your license, you in essence are your own boss. So you got to figure out what your brand. If you want a slogan, you got to get a time frame. You got to understand exactly who you want to be, what you want to do. You got to go after it. And to me, it is understanding like, yo, this is not a 15-minute understanding. It's more like I need to sit down and take some time and really, you got to constantly read every day.
Okay. So constant education.
Always.
You always. Okay. So now let's get into the fun side of things. I like this. That's good. Because, I'm like you. I'm not a good test taker. that's just not how the real world works for me. Like, you know what I mean? But anyway, so now that you've gotten the technical. Yeah, right.
I got you the right answer, didn't I?
Right.
Yes, sir.
So once you pass the technical side of things, now it's time to get in. I would say, look at it as the fun stuff. Because it's real. I love real stuff.
It's fun.
Let me see how I can break this down. What does it take to be a successful realtor?
Drive, hunger, sacrifice, commitment, dedication, education, and just a will to win. Like if it's to me, I played football all my life. From 6 to 22, I played football. I went from being the slowest, chubbiest left pulling guard to the middle linebacker to starting outside linebacker to, number 5 for tackles for losses in the conference. Like you can't tell me I can't. I went from running a 6-something to a 4 or 5 with equipment on. You can't tell me I'm not going to win. And to me, that's what it takes to be a successful realtor. You got to have that willpower, that willingness to not just win, right? But to win with integrity, to win with knowing that you are doing the best that you can for your clients. And not your clients come first, but for customers, because there's a difference between your clients and customers. But as well as just because you got a different brand on, we're not competitors. In essence, we really all colleagues. We have one common goal. But to leave a taste of somebody's mouth knowing that even through the stress, even through the hiccups, through the pain, I enjoyed buying a house. My dream came true, not this nightmare came true.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's what it takes.
There you go either way.
Man, listen.
There you go either way when you're looking for a home. It could be a complete disaster to, I will never do this again, to, you know what? It wasn't that bad. Yeah. This was a good experience.
Man, I don't even know if you heard it in me when I started explaining. Like, it does something to me about being a realtor. Like, it's man, that, what's that, what was it, Amex or Discover, never leave home without it?
Yeah.
Man, that's my life. My tablet, my phone. Listen,
you're always ready.
Kids cannot play games on my phone.
Oh yeah, because
they don't even know. The wife got it. They can't. They don't even know how to unlock my phone. That little hacks about let me try to unlock your phone.
Yeah,
it don't work. No,
yeah,
can't touch it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got to protect it. That's your business.
That's my business.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we talked about what it takes.
So partially.
And your house is key. Mugs.
Brought to you by Your House is Key.
Your House is Key.
Yes, we got shirts coming. I have mugs. And we get you some socks too if you want.
The fuzzy ones. Where you can rub your feet together.
Look, I rub my feet, get a little sleepy by.
Get that rock in there. So we talked about what it takes. You gotta broke it down into different categories. Is there one category of what you just listed that would stand out the most? Like, look, I know you can't be perfect in all our areas.
Says who?
But because ain't nobody perfect.
Shit.
You can get close to it.
Try me.
But what is one of those things that, dog, if you don't have this, you not gonna make it?
Oh, see, that's different than what you're saying, perfect. Being perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's perfect. But if you don't have the drive, it's real estate. The thing is sacrifice and drive, but drive is what drives literally the sacrifice. Drive is what brings the passion. Or it was a quote one of the rappers was Lupe said, form follows function. If you function properly, the things will form itself.
Mhm.
To me, that is, if you have the drive, or to me, it's the drive, because the passion. And the reason for somebody like, well, you need to have the passion first. No, because when you first get in real estate, people don't realize in real estate, if you don't kill, you don't eat. You don't get a customer, you don't close, you don't eat. And when you don't eat, you starve. And not making money is like starving.
Yeah.
And when you realize, okay, I got to check. Okay, I got to, but you start to find not saying the passion when they're the passion, your purpose.
Yes. What is your purpose?
Becomes clear
Mm-hmm.
on how you handle your business, how you conduct your business, because then that passion starts to come alive.
Yeah.
Because you found your purpose. It is, I mean, this really is a form of ministry, because you're helping people. But if you don't have that drive, if you ain't willing to lose sleep, not go out on Friday because you got to show a house, miss your child's game or recital, or be late, or to travel out of town and to go get more knowledge from a conference, if you ain't risk, but let's be real, you my homie. It's been plenty of times over the summer, like, but we ain't seen you.
Yeah.
Where you been?
Where you been? Yeah.
I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
Like that song say, they wasn't with you shooting in the gym. Bro, it's real.
Yeah.
But that's my drive. Like, and I love what I do.
Yeah.
Because no matter how, if you don't have that drive to continue on and multiply, I can give you a deal.
Yeah.
I give you 2 deals. But if you don't follow up on them,
Mm-hmm.
you just lost 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 customers.
Yeah, and I think to your point, which to me, even though I'm not a realtor, maybe you never know one day. You never know.
Hey, the Lizzo group.
If you don't have the drive, because it's not going to be handed to you.
Oh, no.
Right? It's a blessing if you get a referral, and that referral actually goes all the way through to closing. That, to me, I would say that would be easy money in a sense, right? Because you're getting referrals. That's speaking volumes for, your work ethic already. I think everybody deserves a freebie every now and then, a layup, right?
Hey,
but
you say freebie, I call it a blessing.
A blessing, yeah. But you still have to go out there and get it. You still have to market yourself.
Yep.
You still have to push and drive. And I think one thing that I think I can't, all right, say it again. What is it? I think one thing that, one thing you missed that I think you have to have as a realtor, you have to have thorough communication.
Oh, but here's the thing. That'll come, because even to this day, if you have the drive, someone will see it.
Yeah.
Someone will grab you and they will coach you.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be coachable too. But yes, you have to be able to somewhat, to a level, be able to articulate it, right? Because even with the drive, you're gonna lose a client, you're gonna get fired, and you're gonna realize that, okay, let me back up. With that drive, you will learn, as you find your purpose and passion, all money ain't good money.
Oh,
because that's when you get to that point, you find your purpose. You be like, "Ooh, I can get this check, and I get this. Is it worth the headache? Is it worth the issues? Is it worth it? When you get done and you get that check, is it really worth it?" And people are like, "Yeah, you get the money." Well, then you doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
you don't. And when you got passion at what you do, you can easily say, "You know what? I appreciate it, but I feel like we might not be a good fit. However, I got someone for you." Mm-hmm. That may be able to do it.
Yeah.
Or you find a way to politely have them fire you, and then you be like, "You know what? I appreciate our time. I have tried these things. Unfortunately, if you have to go the other way, I understand." And there's so many ways of doing it, but it's been done.
Yeah.
And it's been done by the best. But one thing, you were talking about getting things handed to you. Even, or would you say, you got to be able to multiply when things get handed to you. It's something about not even when you got that drive, I just want you to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
If you open the door, or if you show me where the door is, as long as I'm in the room, I'm going to make
you cover it.
Somebody told me one day, drop me out of the airplane in a phone book, and before that night's over with, I'm gonna have 10 friends. Man, come on now.
Yeah. And you gotta know what to do with it.
You do.
So I think, for one, real estate isn't for everyone.
No, it's not.
Right? It's not. And that's okay.
Yep.
Right? Because I just think the market alone, there's so many different areas that you could get into. Investing where you don't, some people may be great investors. Right? We got home inspections, you got your appraisers,
It's something even easier than that. If you want your real estate license, you just want to deal with it. They're like our office, we have escrow. You can hold your license in escrow. So if the money's it for you, if you're licensed in escrow, you're still a licensed realtor. You can't practice real estate, but you can refer out. And so if you refer out, you can then get paid for that referral. Because again, what people don't realize, and I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you, and tell you, just because you refer someone to me, you ain't licensed. I'm not paying. People be like, I've heard conversations. I don't get what if I refer my cousin, and what do I get? A thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're not a licensed realtor. You do not get a referral fee. There is no cut. I love what I do, and I like feeding my wife and kids and going on trips and kicking it with my homies.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. So I think, we covered, the technical side. We covered what does it take, the characteristics. What? Could we just talk?
What do your clients get from you?
That's a good one. Okay, so let's talk about you personally as a realtor. I think we've kind of dove into that.
Oh, okay.
What will your clients get from you?
Maybe a mug.
And a sweater.
You know what?
Throw the sweaters in there.
We might get the sweater.
That's pretty pro.
What they get from me, meaning, I like to over communicate, and not in an annoying way. I treat every client, whether it's first, second, third, fourth, fifth house, as if you never bought a house. And as long as I do that, I personally know I didn't skip a step, and you don't go without knowledge. What they also get from me is someone who's willing to, regardless, I feel like the day you stop learning, you no longer have a purpose on this earth. So I have clients to this day. I had one call me and was like, hey, did you know that they offer this program? When they called me back, they told me this. No, but I will not now. The other day, from the inspector was like, did you know that we can do this and it's not included in the transit? We can do a walk. Like, they get someone who's not just guiding them as an expert and going to go get the answers and protecting them and going to get the answers, looking out for them. I am their doctor, their lawyer. I'm doing the surgery, the arguing, the negotiation, the protecting. But when I talk to you, you're going to walk away with enough knowledge to feel like you made a great decision, whether it was to walk away or whether it was to move forward, whether it was and healthy dialogue, meaning you don't always have. My clients get the ability to disagree, debate, and a lot of times, I don't want to be right in certain decisions because what you thinking and how you want it to plan out, I'm hoping that happens because that's part of your dream. You was able to get this or this negotiation or that. Another thing they get is we call it old car, reasonable care. Confidentiality is everything. You may hear scenarios, but I would never tell you a client's name. I would never say, like, I get to say you, but I had your permission. You brought it up. But confidence, even after the transaction, confidentiality is everything. And then the last thing, and I could tell y'all, because just because other people say it, they ain't mean they can't do it. Our relationship doesn't end when the transaction's over.
Yes, and that is true, because we just got some mail the other day.
That's my relationship begins. You got that cleanup list.
We
Time to clean up.
We got it. Listen, even on the holidays.
Yes. And
we got the holidays. What we get, like
house anniversary, birthday, all that,
Every single year though that we've been in it. We've been 4 years. We've been in the house. We've been in the house 5 years. Yeah. So you keep that relationship going, because that keeps it fresh for one. is that, if you need me again, I'm here. If you know someone, I'm here.
Facts.
So I think your marketing is key.
Yes.
Just like your house.
Ooh, look at you, baby.
Listen. But no, I think that's important. And one thing I can say from experience as a client of yours, because even though that we were friends outside of that, I entrusted you as my realtor because I'm like, what you mentioned, you got to be a go-getter.
Man.
I'm not about to sit here because I got to work all day, and you actually found the house we're in. Because remember, I was ready to give up. I was ready to go home.
Ain't no quitting.
Because Corey didn't like the last house. And I was so upset. I said...
No, other way around. He liked the last one.
He couldn't let go of
He couldn't let go. Yeah.
He to this day, he brought it up today, I promise you. It was a house he drove past. I said, did you see how they had the deck built out? It looked so nice. He said, yeah, like Cherokee. Cherokee did not have a deck.
Listen,
and it had steps.
What he don't realize is Cherokee didn't have a finished basement.
They did.
On day one.
Corey ain't ever let the house go on sale again.
Listen, but you know what's so funny? I laugh all the time. And I tell the missus, like, the house we in today was the house we've turned away because it had a blue wall.
Same exact layout.
We got same layout, same basement. It didn't have the backyard.
Yeah,
the backyard was long. I did extra to it, but it didn't have the pool. It was just grass. It was just field, and we didn't get it because it had a blue wall. We got a blue ceiling. We got a blue wall.
Y'all got a lot of blue.
We got a lot of blue. Listen.
Hold on. Ask Corey. I said, because I'm thinking about painting the house. I said, I kind of like that blue.
I still got the hair swatch. Listen.
It's kind of like that blue they got in the house.
I got you. Don't worry about it. To this day, you're a realtor. For me, I'm always, my connections are yours. And I mean that.
Yeah. No, he does. He does. And that's one thing I can't speak volumes for is that, with you as a realtor, you're going to do the work. You listen, you understand, but that grit to keep going until you close and you find that house. Because I remember, like I said a couple of minutes ago, is that I remember it was a house around the corner from where we are currently. Corey didn't like it. I liked it. I was ready to get out of my mama's house. Okay. I said, this is going to work.
Right.
Corey said, And I said, you know what? We just going to go home for the day. I'm tired. And you said, before you go home, let me see if something else hit the market.
We was in the driveway.
And you said, nope, here we go. Let's go. And I said, boo, I'm ready to go home. He said, nope, let's go. Let's go. You already out here. Let's go. And as we were driving, I remember I called you. I said, boo, this is around the corner from my mama. He's like, well, even better. I'm like, I don't want to be by my mama. But then we walked in the house. And as soon as we walked in, I said, this is the same layout as Cherokee. And I said, Corey, this is the same layout. We're about to put this offer in.
With a finished basement.
He's like, what about that extra room up top? But it has a finished basement.
Can I tell you, one other thing they get is a genuine me.
Yes.
Because
you remind
the boom. What that's about?
Slides.
Listen, now here's a secret. Most people, I'm gonna let this out, and I know he over there telling us we on our time, so we might have to do a part 2 of this. When I talk about drive, I showed up to a showing smelling like a truckload of chitlins.
Oh, goodness.
And tomahawk steaks with some slides on. Showing the house.
He got it done, though.
I was like, Clark Kent. Changing clothes on the highway. So no one knew. At the time, I had something else to do. I had another job.
Yeah. So that goes back to that grit. You got to have that desire, that passion for it. So I think real estate is well fitting for you. And that's why you've been successful. You've won the awards. You've excelled pretty quickly, to me, in real estate. So that just speaks to your character. You actually like doing it. So I think anything you do, I forgot who said it, but they say don't chase the money, chase the purpose.
Yep.
I think it was Coach Prime said that.
The money will come.
Chase the money, chase the purpose, because the money gonna come.
If you do it right and do it well, money will come.
Love it. Where we at on time? I know we over. We good?
We good.
Okay, well, I think, that's all I got.
Oh, listen.
Unless you got more.
I know
we could talk about it on and on and on.
Because You know what? I'm gonna save it for part 2.
Okay, we're gonna do part
this
2.
because there's a lot of things on the internet that I want to debunk that our society sees about real estate, about being a realtor. And there's one thing we didn't talk about, and that's the lifestyle and the change.
Yes.
How like we talked about as a realtor what it takes and what you give, but let's really talk about the life of a realtor.
The life. Okay, part 2.
Part
Part 2
2.
coming up.
Stay
The
tuned.
life of a realtor.
Boom.
Boom. All right, there's
It's your favorite podcast. We're gonna end on that note. Your favorite podcast with your favorite realtor, Danelle Shepherd, and your favorite co-host,
Miss Lemon Pepper with the season.
She said she bring the season.
The season.
I
the
think
season.
today I was the spice, the seasoning, the sugar, the sweet, the sour, all up.
See, you don't know how to act.
Perfect. That's how I act.
All right, so don't forget to tell them. Make sure you like,
Subscribe
subscribe,
and
comment,
Oh,
share.
and comment.
Yes, comment.
Please.
Take questions. He takes questions.
I do. And
Yeah.
what?
So you want to make sure that you check them. Are you on Facebook,
Facebook.
YouTube,
So yeah, Facebook.
Instagram?
2 pages. I follow and answer from both. Danelle Shepherd as the main. Then my business page is the Lazo Group at Remax Time. I am the team lead of the group. Then we on Instagram, the same thing, the Lazo Group. And then
On TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, Danelle the Realtor. Yeah.
There you go. And I want Miss Lemon Pepper. Miss
Yes.
Lemon Pepper. It's up on Facebook.
Hey,
Miss Lemon Pepper.
she went viral and ain't helped me go viral yet.
Trying to help him go viral. We gonna go viral.
Can y'all help me go viral? I'm just saying.
He's gonna go viral. Then we gonna get our own reality show.
Facts.
There you go.
Hey, pay attention. Call us.
All right.
Selling Cincinnati. I came up with it. Your house is key.
Have a good one.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Your House is Key with Danelle Shepherd. Each week, Danelle dives into essential tips, insider secrets, and expert advice to help you navigate the exciting journey of home ownership and home selling. From understanding market trends and finding the perfect neighborhood to even securing financing, staging your home, and closing the deal. There's only one guy that gets it done. Danelle Shepherd, right here at yourhouseskey.com.